Hey guys, this is Pat from PopularMMOs.com. I'm doing a first look video for Forsaken World, a free fantasy MMORPG by Perfect World Entertainment. And we're going to take a look at the character creation, some of the gameplay, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about this game in general. So these are the races in the game. There's human, there's elf, there's dwarf, there's stoneman, which can only be a male character, and there's kindred. One of the interesting things about this is you can actually take a look at how hard the class is to play. So when you choose a class in this game, you don't have to pick a real difficult class if you don't want to play one, and you don't have to pick a too easy class if you don't want to pick that. So it shows right here that warrior and assassin are very difficult classes to play, but mage and priest are pretty easy to play. So my suggestion would be, if this is one of your first MMOs, you'd want to pick an easier class. There's actually some pretty interesting classes in this game too, like Bard, which you don't see in too many games. There's Marksman, there's Stoneman Protector, and there's also Vampire, which is another class you don't see in too many games. So let's get a character created. You can change the look of your character's face. You could also change the flare of your character, which is basically the effects on your character's face. For a female character, it's pretty much going to be the look of her makeup. You can change the skin tone of your character, and you can change the hair of your character. There aren't a ridiculous amount of options, guys, but the character models do look real nice, so that is a pro. And the last four settings are all going to affect your character's hair color. So you can pretty much get any exact color that you want to get for your character's hair color. So let's hit next. And one of the things about this game is you actually have to choose when your character was born, and this is going to affect the zodiac sign of your character. But it really isn't too important, to be honest. So let's choose a name and let's get started. Alright, let's get right into the game. Right when you get into the game, your first quest is going to pop right up on your screen. And this is right here is your quest log. So this is what that looks like. And when I was talking about choosing the date for your character, it's going to affect your zodiac symbol, which is this right here. And at the beginning of the game, it's pretty much just going to give you some gear to start your character out. So let's equip that real quick. But later in the game, pretty much every hour, you're going to be able to click on this. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a little bit of experience, and it's going to give your character a buff. And this game does have an auto move system, just like most Perfect World games do, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So your quest right here, all you have to do is hover over it and then click on what you need to move to, and your character should move right to it. And it works pretty well in this game, so that shouldn't be a problem. And as you can see, the graphics in this game do look pretty nice. And they do look nice in most Perfect World games, so it's not really a surprise. And right here you can see the question mark and the exclamation points, pretty much how most games are for how they represent the quests. And it says new skill acquired, and this skill is actually like a special skill in the game, and it's not in most games. What it does is it's like a special AoE move that kills, it does a hard hit to every single thing around you, an AoE effect, and you can't use it very often, so I would suggest using it in maybe tough situations. And as you can see, guys, there are titles in this game, and I already got one right at the beginning of the game, so I guess that's nice to start you off with one. So let's do this quest, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the game. Alright, so as you can see under character, you have something called vigor and something called energy. And what those things do is they affect your crafting. One is your crafting, and the other one is for gathering. And the thing about those is, if those go down to 0, then you can't do any crafting or any gathering. So that is a problem. They drain whenever you craft something or whenever you gather something, but they do replenish over time, and they do replenish even when you're offline. But if you're big into crafting, that may be a problem. And this game actually does have some interesting crafts, and the skills in this game are actually called jobs. So let's take a look at those. And here's the job menu. There's botanist, alchemist, chef, fisherman, socialite, and socialite's a pretty interesting one that isn't in many games. They do have some interesting jobs in this game, and there's some scenes like this every once in a while, but let's skip that and take a look at the jobs. But yeah, there's interesting ones like Socialite, which is going to basically be you interacting with NPCs in the game, and you're going to learn more about the game. And there's Merchant, Tamer, Armorsmith, Jewel Crafter, Scavenger. So there's a bunch of them. You can't actually choose them all, but you get to choose a decent amount of them. So you want to make sure that you choose one that you actually want, since you can't choose them all. So what I want to show you guys is the combat in this game. So let's try to find some monsters to fight. And the combat in this game, actually, it's real fluid, and it actually looks real nice because the skill animations actually look great. Alright, I found some monsters for us to fight, and so you can take a look at the skill animations, which actually look pretty good. They're really colorful and a lot more interesting looking than you're gonna see in most games. So I think that's one of the nice aspects of the game. It's real colorful, this game, obviously, as you can tell. And one thing about this game, guys, is it has a lot of PvE content and not too much PvP. But when it comes to PvE, there is tons of different dungeons that's in this game, and you can queue for them. And let's find the tab for that. Right here, see it says all instances, gear instances, event instances, PvP instances, and the PvP is going to be arenas, and there's also guild battles in this game. But other than that, it's not really like a hardcore PvP game, so if you're really into PvP, you might not be too into it. And also when it comes to crafting, if you really love to craft, this might not be the game for you either, because you can't craft non-stop because of the vigor and energy problem. But if you enjoy crafting every once in a while, it's really not too bad. And what you can do, which some people do obviously, is use the item wall to replenish that. But I think that it's just best off that you just, be patient and wait for it to come back and just don't spend all day crafting. But if that's something you like to do, obviously that's going to be a problem. As for the dungeons I was just talking about, there's lots of different kinds of dungeons. There's dungeons specifically made for improving your gear, and there's dungeons that are specifically made for your character to level up, so there's more experience in those, but they don't have good gear rewards like the other dungeons. So I think that's a nice, interesting way to put them and organize them so you can choose which dungeons you want to do, which is pretty cool. So there are some unique aspects to this game that aren't in other games, although it does use a lot of the same things that other MMOs you might have played do. One of the last things that I wanted to mention is this game does have pets. It has a nice pet system, so pretty much doesn't matter what class you are, your character can have a pet and it's going to help you in combat. So if you really like pets, this game's probably going to be for you. I don't have too much more to say about Forsaken World, guys, but if you're not real into PvP or crafting and you just enjoy some PvE content, this is probably a game you're going to want to check out, especially since it's free and the graphics are pretty nice looking. Anyways, guys, soon I'll be posting a video of the features of this game for when you're actually higher level in the game. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to check out PopularMMOs.com. See you guys.